I don't know why my mic keeps doing this. It's always stayed on previously, but now it turns itself off between streams, so it's confusing me to no end. 1 second, gonna make sure. Okay. So our first story is, well, someone is getting struck with lightning for this one. Uh, all the lightning strikes. How Sabrina Carpenter's racy church video may have led the feds to probe a priest, one of Eric Adams' closest allies. Again, someone is going straight to Hades for this one, right in front of the altar of St. Peter, I'm sure. Uh, just a little unknown Catholic lore. If you are not Catholic, you might not know but the altars on the in Catholic Church, the altars are supposed to have a bone of a saint in it. Now, as a very irreverent person, I generally don't care, except, oh my gosh, this is so tacky. I mean, could you have done better? That's not even a Madonna knockoff. Ew. Pop sensation Sabrina Carpenter is everywhere and probably dodging lightning bolts as she can. Even the chorus of scandals around Mayor Eric Adams. The brouhaha began when the pint-sized singer's racy music video showing her writhing in a little black dress at the altar of a Brooklyn church. Moments after men bloodily unalived themselves over her. I mean, she seems so humble. An unholy uproar ensued, leading an appalled bishop to discipline the flamboyant Catholic priest who opened the church's door to the booty-bearing carpenter. Fundian Babylon Bee would have written this article, and then we would have all laughed and thanked God that it wasn't our real timeline. But this is, in fact, our real timeline, people. I can't. And now the sacrilegious saga has ended in an unlikely place, with the sultry Sabrina putting the hitherto unknown priest and church on the radar of feds investigating corruptions around Adams. So wait, are you saying Sabrina Carpenter might bring down New York? I don't know, maybe I'll listen to one of her songs. Brooklyn's diocese officials, when asked by the Post for comment on a subpoena last week seeking information about business dealings between Monsignor Jamie Gelantio and Adams' ex-chief of staff Frank Carone, responded with a statement that linked to an internal investigation over Carpenter's music video. Quote, it would be inappropriate to comment further on the review, which is still ongoing, the diocese officials said in a statement to the Post. We are investigating ourselves and we will simply move him to a different parish. You're welcome. Then, in the next breath, they alluded to a federal investigation ensnaring the priest and Carone. The diocese is fully committed to cooperating with law enforcement in all investigations, including conduct at individual parishes or involving any priest. The statement implies that Carpenter's shoot last year for her Feather music video may have led to a federal probe, one of many that are swirling around the Adams administration. The raunchy video, which featured a scantily clad Carpenter, 25, dancing in the Williamsburg church next to a coffin emblazoned with R.I.P. bitch. I mean, maybe I'll watch the video. I don't know. You're intriguing me. Infuriated Bishop Robert Brennan, who even reconsecrated the church as if to exorcise the pop starlet's profanity. And look, I may be a recovering Catholic, but there is a lot of meaning. There is a lot of absolute disrespect that is going on here. Again, this altar is a vessel in which, a saint's bone is enshrined. I mean, there are certain parts of the Catholic Church I don't understand and I have disagreed with growing up, but this is gross to me. And it's odd because I would never think I would be offended as a recovering Catholic, but there was just so much awe and respect and almost kind of a reverence which some people will say is misplaced. Look, I say find Jesus where you find Jesus, and I'm not the one to tell you where he is as the world's worst Christian. A lot of people find him in jail, but I don't recommend jail. There you go. That's my religious speech. Um, but I'm shocked at how much this bothers me, which is really odd because as a generally irreverent person, I don't mind. But her putting things on the altar, it's really gross to me. It really, really is gross to me. Again, I didn't think I had any, Catholic reverence left in me, but I find I do. Considering I also use Lent as a diet, I am a terrible Christian. Do not talk to me about Christianity. I will lead you in the wrong direction. This is just gross. I'm sorry, it is. You could have someone whip that up and whip up a background at no time. Oh, Lord. Well, okay, I'm glad. I'm glad someone else, I'm like, no, I can't eat sweets for Jesus. And sometimes I'm able to keep my promise to Jesus and not my, willpower. No problem, Fundian. Be careful, be safe, and it's supposed to rain, so I hope you are safe and people are paying attention. When I am on the road tomorrow, I will promise to pay attention. So the priest who also serves as a FDNY chaplain maintained that he and his team were, quote, not aware of anything provocative was occurring in the church and asked for forgiveness. Chick is wearing a tutu as an entire daggone dress in black and writhing around, humping the air. What in the Schnell? He's like, I was unaware that Madonna Light was coming in. Also, ma'am, Madonna did it better. She did it more beautifully with Just Like a Prayer. And stop. You are not Madonna. I don't care if you go to a bajillion Catholic churches. You just piss off recovering Catholics. I'll get off my soapbox box now because I have no freaking idea who this chick is. I love being older where I don't have to care who the new teen pop idol is. I can just be like, oh, isn't that cute? And then look over and say, nah, not for me. Now, the priest repeatedly likes to party and has been seen out with his friend and the mayor. Yeah, nothing like a partying priest. Doesn't, help dispel any of those Saturday night Catholics turn into, Sunday night Catholics. Anywho, the subpoena is seeking information on the pair. Was among the drip, drip, drip of federal actions against many of Mayor Adams' top officials and closest confidants in the recent weeks and months. Carone served as Adams' chief of staff before resigning in 2022 to run a consulting firm. He now chairs his nurse re-election campaign. So both the aide and the priest were unavailable for comment. Wait a minute. Does this priest have his own damn cooking book? Oh my God, y'all. I figured it out. We have found the real life version of the cardinal or the bishop that George Carlin played in Dogma. If he doesn't have a buddy Christ lined up, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But if I don't get a buddy Christ out of this particular story, I'm going to be very mad because Dogma is coming true and I can't. What is going on? He has his own damn recipe book. I can't. If he doesn't have a Buddy Christ statue, I am calling pause on this level of the Matrix. I'm taking the red pill and I am going back to sleep because this is ridiculous. I love that movie. It was the first movie my mom was like, "Are you sure you want to watch this movie? It's mean to Catholics." And I was like, that makes it doubly exciting for me, but I'll just ask my dad for it for Christmas. Don't worry. So there you go. Priest probably going to jail. On a serious note, we are going to learn about this together, but apparently there is some bad stuff like we didn't know that you can get on the internet, but definitely wanted to shine a light on this story. A grieving father is fighting to ban a unaliving substance that his son bought online for just $13. This is incredibly sad, and I feel so sorry. And the only reason I want to share or, shine a light on this is so that other parents might know and might look at what their kids are buying and maybe stop this. A heartbroken Colorado father whose son ended his own life with a cheap substance readily available online that was delivered to their home is leading the charge to get the substance banned nationwide in high concentrated doses used for leaving this earth on your own hands. Bruce Brown said that in November 2022, when a UPS package containing an odorless yellowish white powder arrived for his 17-year-old son Bennett, he believed it was a workout supplement for the competitive soccer player. USA Today reported, still curious about the powder's exact purpose, the Colorado lawyer texted his son that evening to find out. Brent, who was away from home that night, would never answer. The 17-year-old ingested sodium nitrate, a chemical compound mainly used for food preservation that can be fatal to humans in high concentration, the day after it arrived. But appears he regretted taking it and reached out to his family that he needed to go to the hospital immediately. Yeah, I had no idea. What a terribly sad thing. And unfortunately, these are some decisions you can't undo. So listen, if you're a kiddo, if you're a middle schooler, if you are a college person, if you are a middle-aged or older person, and you are dealing with some really, really dark stuff right now, you will get through it. There are people around you. Please look at, the people that are holding lights around you. Yeah, it's dark, and you might look back and not remember how you got out of this dark place, but you will, and things change, and the sun comes out again. It really does. I know this sounds like stupid, random BS from a weirdo with weird hair on the internet, but I can tell you it does. It really does. And if I had listened to what 13-year-old Mo wanted to do one really, really ugly night, then I wouldn't have my 6 kiddos and I wouldn't have everything around me. And I never imagined those dreams at 13 years old. So please call the crisis hotline. There is someone listening. Don't make a permanent choice. Everyone screws up. Me especially. You are looking at a twice college dropout, okay, with a 50% legitimacy on our kids, depending on, which annulment you look at. Everyone has times in their life where they don't live up to what they think they should or can do. But you can adapt, you can change, and you can get better, or you can change those ideas. Please don't make a permanent choice on a sad time. Reach out to your parents. If your parents aren't there, reach out to your friends' parents. Reach out to someone, please, for the love of Cheetos. Because being left behind sucks. It just does. It really, really sucks. Any hoozle, let's get back to the story. Unfortunately, he passed away in the ambulance. Quote, my son did not want to pass, Brown told the outlet. After he took this poison, he went to a family member and said, I need help. And unfortunately, that it can be really common for people who are, going through with this or having some of these thoughts. The grieving father said his son suffered from long-term COOF, which not only affected him physically, causing the teen to have severe lung problems, leaving him up all night and mostly housebound, but it took a massive toll on his mental health. Absolutely. Check on your kiddos. And especially ones that are dealing with, at 37 years old, I got hurt and my entire life changed. And I had a 2-year-long pity party where I was so fully into my pity that I could barely see the world outside. It is a rough thing to deal with your new body. So please reach out. You are not alone. There are so many people that are dealing with similar things that can give you really good support and help. Matters only worsened when Bennett lost consciousness, fell, and suffered a concussion, his father said. He was forced to drop out of Arizona State University, where he was an English major, which further affected his mental health, according to CBS News. Quote, a symptom of concussion is self-deletion. I did not know that. Nobody ever told me that, Brown told USA Today. I think it just exacerbated that pre-existing sadness that he was feeling. Brown later discovered that his son had been part of a depraved online forum where people encourage others to self-delete. Where the hell is this site? Can we not take down this site? I mean, I understand free speech, but this is free assisted shuffling off the mortal coil. I want to go in and be very mad at each and every one of them for being so selfish. Apparently, this is where he believes his son learned about sodium nitrate. His son was among a growing number of people who have used the chemical compound to end their lives. If ingested, the powder can cause methylmoglobinemia, which prevents the red blood cells from carrying oxygen to the body's tissue. Now, I probably butchered the ever-living schnell out of that name, but it was like 173 letters long. The lethal dose of sodium nitrate is between 0.7 and 6 grams and acts so quickly that an antidote often can't help if it's available. So for a comparison, a packet of sugar for your coffee generally contains between 2 to 4 grams. Now, these related unalivings have increased in the recent years, according to a study published in June by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The study attributes this rise to online forums like the one used by Bennett, which openly discuss how to self-delete. Quote, at least 768 unalivings involving antidotes and chelating agents, including sodium nitrate, occurred between 2018 and July 2023, set in the context of 268,972 total self-deletions in that time period. So it is a very, 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 very small chance. But maybe this story can be a reminder to check on the people you know and check on the strong people you know. Sometimes the people that act the strongest, that don't complain a lot, are exhausted of pretending to be brave. Sometimes they've got a lot going on and you wouldn't know if you just don't reach out. So this is a terribly sad story, but try to connect with the people around you. Have a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe just send them a chat, unless they were a total butt monkey. Then send them something that they'll have to respond back to with a sassy something or other, so you just know they're alive. Do a wellness check for your friends and enemies, depending on who all they are. In a better story, a cat that went missing in Wyoming, 2 months later, he was found in his home state in California. This cat had his own homeward bound adventure. He was sassy. I love it. Oh, yes, he does look like a guy that would know his way home. Hello, Haley Mouse. The story, or the love between a pet and its owner, knows no bounds or state lines. He crossed state lines. Surprised Binger isn't going to go after him. After going missing in Yellowstone National Park, a 2-year-old cat traveled more than 800 miles to its California home. Siamese cat Rain Blue, pronounced Rainbow. Well, okay, really? It's spelled, and I quote, Rain Blue. Why do you people do this to me? Rain Blue, pronounced Rainbow. You people are butchering the language I can barely spell. For the love of God, I have to read these things. Stop it. Ran off into the trees during a trip to the Wyoming park in June, according to his owners, Benny and Suzanne Aguino. The couple, based out of Salinas in Monterey County, thought they had seen the last of their beloved pet. However, 2 months later, they received a voicemail from an animal shelter in Roseville, about 30 miles northeast of Sacramento, informing them that Rainbow was ready for pickup. The pair's 5-day trip at Yellowstone took a downturn after several days spent scouring the park, with Benny roaming the forest wearing bear repellent. Their restless relentless search ended June 8th when their park reservation ended and the couple returned home devastated. Benny told Suzanne that they could not stay at the park forever, and park rangers said they would inform them if Rainbow was spotted. Quote, I understood that, but I just made him stay until the very last minute, that's for sure. And even as we were driving out, I had my window down. I was still calling him and we were scanning the road. It was pretty traumatic. That does. Oh, I I hate this name so much for this cat. I have an unabiding rage for the name that these people picked for their cat. And it could be that this has just been the Mondayest of all Mondays, but I don't know why it is so irritating to me that people just can't write rainbow. Just it it's making me want to run away and join the circus. And it is such a weird thing to have like the rage of a thousand suns over. So weird. To be fair, Dingus's full name is Lord Dingus, middle manager of the Chaos Dimension. So I get it. I don't know why today is just bothering the ever living snot out of me. Rainbow's twin cat, Star Jasmine, called out for her brother from their carrier. Suzanne said she knew that her twin was gone. The ride home was sorrowful for her as the cat grappled with being apart from her twin for the first time ever. The Antigua, okay, the couple who lost the cat, because they also have a freaking ridiculous name. No offense to you people, but it is a Monday, it is raining, and I am done. Held on to hope despite mounting despair. Park officials said some pets are found months later, Benny said. As they crossed the state line into Idaho, the couple saw a double rainbow, assuring Suzanne and that Rainbow is being taken care of. Yet the pair found themselves in complete disbelief when a voicemail on August 3rd from Placer SPCA shelter in Roseville said that their cat had been found. Skeptical of a potential scam, Suzanne said it wasn't until her husband and daughter were also contacted that they began taking the message seriously. I said, take a picture. I want to make sure I don't drive 3.5 hours and it's not my cat, Benny said. So they did. And 20 minutes later, they sent a picture and yup, it was him. And he's all proud of his own self. Like, I made home on my own self. Yes, we don't have strep. And it just seems like a nasty, cruddy cold is going around. And they took a throat culture. And I had to explain that I am responsible for the genetic weirdness of having giant tonsils. Because the nurse practitioner was looking at my one daughter and she's like, God, she has huge tonsils. Does she have sleep apnea? I was like, no, I have giant tonsils too. We have awake apnea. When we get, anything involved in our throat, you just feel like you can't breathe. But doctors don't like taking tonsils out of adult people because it's supposed to be a harder surgery. So there you go. Weird anatomy lesson. Mo has giant tonsils. The two reserved their emotions until they could see the cat, afraid of false hope. But the moment they laid eyes on Rainbow, they knew they had been reunited. When we knew for sure we were in tears, we were all hugging and crying. And Rainbow was probably sitting in a box that the shelter had, just tried to throw away. I know cats. Everyone's happy and excited that, they found him. I know, but it's so bothersome for me today. I just can't. So I'm very glad that they found their cat, but oh, well, look at him. He did waste away to practically nothing. He's thin and spelt. He's been on Ozempic, but I am sure they are going to fatten that cat back up. And if he's anything like Dingus, he'll dumpster dive for everything. Right. That would be pretentious and ridiculous and mean to people that have spelling and phonics issues. So I'm glad he's going to get home, feed him all the bacons and the cheeses and the catnip and everything else because he needs it. He's a good cat who knows directions better than Mo. Um, there you go, guys. Newsflash: when given the option to follow a cat or Mo in the woods, I would follow the cat. And I know me. Do not listen to me. Me might tell you that I know what I'm doing. Do not listen to me. If on Survivor and or Lost, do not listen to me. Well, in all the things that I never thought I would have to put in the same sentence, JFK Jr. may sue Olivia Newsy after the writer bombarded him with increasingly pornographic pictures and videos. Again, things I never thought I would mix in a headline. RFK being bombarded by increasingly pornographic photos of someone trying to stalk him. Y'all, I I I think just the fact that we make it to October will be the October surprise. I don't even know what to tell you anymore about this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is investigating a possible lawsuit against sexting New York Magazine writer Olivia News, who allegedly, quote, bombarded him with increasingly pornographic photos and videos while tricking him into unblocking her numbers, according to a mutual friend. I am all the confused. Kennedy 70 has hired security expert Gavin D. Becker to probe the saga because he is allegedly pursuing a civil and potentially criminal litigation against the 31-year-old star political reporter, according to Jessica Reed Krause, who knows them both. Quote, this had nothing to do with romance, De Becker said of the Sword Saga. He was being chased by corn. I don't think I had RFK being attacked by corn on my bingo card. You know what, 2024, I was having a bad Monday, but you go and make it all better with this headline. What the heck, you guys? I can't. I give up. I have no idea what else the world is going to give us. This timeline is being written by, I don't know, I'm going to guess a platypus. Newsy, who was placed on leave last week, allegedly tricked the married politician into receiving her racy messages after he blocked her first number over a flirtatious remark she made 2 weeks after her profile on him was published in November 2023, according to Krause. Quote, a few weeks later, Newsy emailed him asking to be unblocked, claiming she had urgent information about a hit piece that was being prepared against him, Krause wrote on her Inhabit Substack. He unblocked her for that conversation, but later that night she sent him a provocative picture, prompting him to block her again. For the next 8 months, Krause claims, Kennedy kept the Washington correspondent's numbers blocked, aside from a handful of times when she reached out from different emails and numbers, insisting that they speak for urgent discussions about an imminent hit piece. Ma'am, he does not want to hit it with you. Stop. He's just not that into you. You seem like a semi-attractive, really contoured person who seems to understand makeup and fashion and all that girl stuff, and it looks like you're engaged, so I really don't understand why we're having this conversation. Or is that I marry myself ring? That's on her right. Never mind. You seem like an attractive-ish person. I don't know. You kind of look like you tone police a lot, and you're kind of Karen-y, but that's just my impression, and I'm not into chicks, so I mean, I don't care if you are, but you just seem like you're a whole lot of work and kind of a pill. Maybe work on yourself before you try to seduce people. I'm going to get a cease and desist letter. She is not a pill. She is a wonderful person to work with, and she said she would fire me if I don't send you a cease and desist. So she kept sending him, like, I guess, pictures of her glamour shots in like the 80s, or I don't know what is wrong with this person. Krause, for her part, said she had unexpectedly formed a friendship with Newsy late last year over their mutual coverage of Kennedy, but she became suspicious after the reporter started inundating her with personal questions about him. Olivia would ask me almost intimate questions about him and his relationships with staff and his wife after each campaign stop, who he was seen talking to, what his mood was like, whether he showed any signs of flirtation. There was an undercurrent of fascination that went beyond journalistic intrigue and bordered on an obsession. Well, because you know what really gets my griddle a going? It's that voice that sounds like he's been through a blender. And I understand it's a medical condition. I get it. I totally do. I am not trying to make fun of anyone. Look, I have a limp and I'm semi fluffy. This I have no stones to throw in this glass house. But speaking as a young girl, 13 or so, who is deeply in love with Alex Trebek, what the F are you thinking? I do look back at young Mo and I do have some questions, but all of her answers make sense to me, so I don't know that therapy would work. Her constant desire for updates, coupled with her tone of inquiries, made it clear she wasn't merely reporting, she was weaving some kind of fantasy. Oh my God, she has an RFK shrine somewhere. RFK Jr., you don't know me, and we've never talked, but I'm going to need you to check your hairbrush because this heifer probably stole some hair and there is a voodoo doll of you somewhere. You need to get that ish figured out. Get a Unitarian priest, get an Orthodox Greek priest, and an Episcopalian, and I'm going to need you to go into your house. I'm going to need you to sage everything, and then you need to get a new phone and douse the old one in holy water. This chick, you don't have bunnies, do you? RFK, look, I don't know you. I know you have dogs. Protect the dogs for the love of what all is holy and unholy. I'm just saying he needs to check to make sure she didn't find any personal items with his psychic energy on it and just is trying all the Yanni crystals and the Kegel meditation. I don't know. I know that somewhere out there Gwyneth Paltrow is making a shit ton of money off of this chick, okay? She has all the empowerment voodoo that Gwyneth Paltrow sells. Changed my mind. Allegedly in Minecraft. Don't get mad at me. Meanwhile, a source close to the Kennedy camp had earlier told the Post that Newsy became obsessed with the ex-candidate after interviewing him at his home in California and pursued him via text to the point where he repeatedly had to block her. Well, that too. I'm just saying, again, keep this chick away from everyone. She went after him aggressively, the source said. She targeted him pretty hard. Bobby blocked her continually. It was a little scary. She was obsessed with him. I still think she is. Newsy's camp had previously pushed back on the allegations that she was the aggressor and instigated the relationship, but didn't deny the digital tryst and the tumultuous, nature of it. It is absolutely untrue that she was the aggressor. Both parties were aware of how high pressure and high risk the circumstances were, and for that reason, their communication was very on and off, a person with knowledge of the situation told the Post. This would be her telling the Post. A person with knowledge of the situation is usually a source that they know is somewhat sus. Let's be honest. We've played the media game, 2016, 2020. We are kind of done. We understand your buzzwords, all right? Details emerged after Newsy was placed on leave from the magazine last week after admitting to a non-physical, quote-unquote, personal relationship with the former 2024 campaign subject. Sure. Sources told the Post that the Star reporter had been allegedly sexting Kennedy while she was engaged and he was married. Kennedy, the son of Robert F. Kennedy and the nephew of President John F. Kennedy, is married to Curb Your Enthusiasm's actress Cheryl Hines. Newsy, meanwhile, is possibly still engaged to fellow political reporter Ryan Leza. Oh, but they've split. Well, good job for you, sir. Don't sit there and take that while your girlfriend is pornographically stalking RFK Jr. There are plenty fish in the sea. You can Twitter your way right out there and go, was it Tumblr or What's the one where people just hook up and are gross? Tinder. I wouldn't recommend Tinder. That seems like a good way to get gonorrhea, but sir, you've dodged a bullet. Go with God wherever you are. What in the heck is going on here with these plastic surgeons? Quote, painfully inappropriate father of a woman who died in a botched breast augmentation surgery decries the light sentence for the surgeon and nurse responsible. This is going to piss me off. You might hear some bad, naughty words, so just chillax. A California plastic surgeon and his nurse were sentenced for their roles in a botched plastic surgery that killed a patient and mother of two. Dr. Carlos Chacon was sentenced on Friday to 3 years in prison as part of a plea deal to manslaughter in the death of Megan Espinoza, 36, who died from fatal dose of drugs, including ketamine and fentanyl. He was also banned from practicing medicine for life in California. Chacon's nurse, Heather Elise Lang Voss, was sentenced to 2 years in prison after pleading guilty to involuntary manslaughter. She surrendered her nursing license but can eventually apply to have it reinstated. Espinoza's mother, Judith Gorsey, took Vass to task for not calling 911, San Diego's ABC affiliate KGT reported. Quote, that man and his nurse, who are responsible for callously ending Megan's life, gave her the death penalty, and they gave all of us who loved her a life sentence of extreme pain, Gorsey said. The defendants apologized, San Diego's CBS affiliate KFMB reported. You are a far better man than I ever could be to stand behind those rails. You should know at my core, if I could trade places with Megan, I would, Chacon said to Espinoza's father. Vass added in a statement, her death will haunt me for the rest of my days that I didn't call for help. David Gorsey, Espinoza's father, decried the light punishment. The minimum sentencing of 3 years seems, well, painfully inappropriate, he said. As Law & Crime previously reported, Megan Espinoza's heart stopped at the Davino Plastic Surgery Center 6 days before Christmas. And, oh my God, before Christmas, you two suck so much. Before Christmas, she's going to get new booblets and everything. Sucks so out loud bad. Sorry. I'm just thinking Christmas has to suck now for this family. In 2018, a probable cause warrant said that Espinoza went into cardiac arrest mid-surgery around 2:20 p.m. on December 19, 2018. Chacon reacted by leaving the room to see 4 other patients. The heck?
My God, are you still talking?
Are you kidding me? You have got to be. This is a good channel, trying to be a good Christian channel, trying to maintain oneness with Jesus while people are testing the Jesus in me and I throw hands. What now? You have a patient in cardiac arrest and you go see 4 other people that need booblets? That's it. I am going to need all of us to use our collective power right now for a simple prayer. Dear Dr. Sir, I hope every time you have to poo, you are out of toilet paper. I hope every time you go to CVS, they run out of receipts and you get 3 really long ones. I hope every time you think it's a shart, it is not. The end. Amen. I don't know. I can't really be mean, but those are things that would really bother me for the rest of my life. So, amen, God. I'm not sure that God really responds well to revenge prayers, but maybe my, youngest, most feral did say go directly to God instead of, karma, because God is karma's manager. So there you go. So in between talking to, 4 other patients between 3:15 and 5 p.m., she went into cardiac arrest at 2:20. Dingus Patrick Higgins. Why are you looking at it? You tipped it over. That's it. Between cats and children, you know what we haven't tried yet to see if it would help my pain is a fully paid cruise. I'm just thinking a fully paid cruise to the Bahamas, tell no one where I am. Dingus is now, well, saving me from the lamp. Oh, good Lord. Now you know his middle name is Patrick. It has been a secret. So he did call two doctors to ask for their advice instead of calling 911, ordering staffers, some of whom had no medical background, not to call 911 and lying to Megan Espinosa's husband about what was happening, according to the warrant. Chacon made the conscious decision to stop others from providing life saving efforts on at least 7 occasions, the warrant said. And he gets 3 years. Are you kidding me? Are you flipping shut the front door? Bless your heart, butter my biscuits. Squab Bob, I will be honest, and y'all, this is coming from a chick who had double D's in when she was 13. I want mine off. OFF off. Like 3 F's, all the off. If I could get a reduction right now, you have no idea. I would be walking around in tube tops and then my neck wouldn't hurt. But I do understand it is a personal decision. And I think, yes, if we had the budget for it right now, would I be going to get maybe a mommy makeover a little bit? Yes, I probably would. But you can also, there are things, and look, if your man loves you, he just wants to see your booblets. He doesn't care what they look like. He doesn't remember when they were 18 and beautiful and hadn't seen Gravity. Only you remember that. Oh, well, that's nice. I mean, the NHS has a lot of problems, but if women can actually get that help, and I know it's a big thing. It's a big mental thing, and I have no problem with women who want to, uh, you know, do something for themselves. A lot of life, for moms, for wives, if you're a good mom or wife, or even attempting to try to be a good mom and wife, is sacrifice and not getting whatever you want because, oh, Jimmy needs new shoes and Sally needs braces, and well, you could go back to college, but everyone is still going to need you to do all the things. So can you go back to college, do research, and also help everyone with everything? So I get that. And men too. You guys provide for the most part and, go out and do all the dangerous things and take out the trash. If you would like that special Swedish enlargement, I'm just kidding. And that's the thing. I am so okay. And for a long time, I wasn't okay with people, doing what they wanted to feel better about their bodies because I was so uncomfortable in mine. But I'm cool with it now. Yeah. So, what? Oh my gosh. I We need to take Dingus to get neutered, but now I want prosthetic baublets for him. Squaw Bob, thank you. I needed this. This story was ticking me off to the nth degree. I needed this so very, very much. Do they call them faux? Do they call them no nuts? Just asking for a friend. That is awesome. Um the girl's Mima is a cancer survivor, and I'm so incredibly, just amazed at how strong she was during that time. I didn't know her, but the fact that she's made so many changes to be healthier and to stay around and stick around for the girls and for her family and be healthier. I mean, there are a lot of things that are really hard when you're trying to change your life and your health. And she did all of that with a lot of grace. So I commend her for that a lot, because I know the girls want her around. So it's it's a personal thing, and I think we should just let people have their own personal choices. And as long as you don't put it on TikTok and you don't end up looking like that really weird cat lady, I'm not going to ask you anything. Now, if you do start looking like the really weird cat lady, the 7-year-old me is going to have a question. Like, does that hurt? Can you still chew gum? Can I touch it? Like, just your cheek? To see if it's like silly putty and it leaves a little indent. I am not mature enough to be a parent sometimes. In our final story, some Mondays be like this. Some Mondays we all feel a bit like the bewildered seal found itself in the mouth of a humpback whale. This seal is like, I wasn't even supposed to be at work today. He was having a total Clerks moment. Poor little seal. A photograph by a whale-watching naturalist captured a seemingly bewildered seal in the mouth of a humpback whale after the giant marine mammal accidentally gulped it last Thursday in the waters off of Anacortes, Washington. The food mix-up began while a Blue Kingdom whale and wildlife tour boat spotted birds flying over a school of fish and a humpback whale swimming toward it. Captain Tyler McKean said, he said the humpback then used a lunging feeding technique where the whale opens its mouth wide and takes in small fish in water. But instead of remaining underwater afterward to filter through its baleen, it surfaced and began to open and close its mouth. The whale is like, would you get out? I am trying to eat here. And the seal is like, I don't even know where I am. What is going on today? I should have stayed in bed. I just The seal too denied God's plans for him to go to Nineveh. That was the one story, not to get all religious on everyone, that was the one story that I was like, God's kind of an ass if you screw with him, because he gets all the way to Nineveh and then he finds like one plant with shade and God sends a worm to kill that plant, and it's like, boy, Old Testament God did not play. Old Testament God was like, I shall smite you again. I got in so much trouble because I was like, so God wanted him to do something, and when he finally did it, he punished him again. Mo was not popular in Sunday school for some reason. After the whale went back underwater, and the videos were checked by whale watchers, it took a couple seconds for everyone to pull up frames and zoom in, McLean said. But that's when we saw the seal. It was a funny, funny moment for everyone. I mean, it probably wasn't funny for the seal. A photograph by Brooke Casanova shows the seal, which presumably also was hunting fish, emerged from the bottom of the whale's mouth. McKean recorded a phone video where the seal is getting flushed out, so he did survive. I'm guessing this situation probably happens every once in a while just because there's a lot of stuff that eat these fish too, McLean said. Humpback whales visit the Salish Sea, the inland waters between British Columbia and Washington state, during their migrations. Humpback whales were hunted to local extinction in these waters, but over the last 25 years, their numbers have recovered, and now they are routinely seen in whale watching tours, McKean said. He added that the whale that accidentally gulped down the seal is known as Zillion. Well, there you go. So, even if you're stuck in the mouth of the whale and you could be going the wrong way to Nineveh, Mondays always end, and you can have a non-Monday tomorrow. That is my message of hope. That is my hope of hope tomorrow. I have spent all day Lysoling things down and cleaning stuff up and attempting to sell Mr. Mo on getting a fleet, and yes, I mean a fleet, of Zumba vacuum cleaners, because these cats shed like wild Chewbacca's. I cannot keep up with this cat fur. I can't. But I'm afraid the Zumbas would also die, and they're hella expensive. And the inner cheapskate in me is just like, I'll buy a better broom. But there you go, into my inner pain and and craziness here. I will be back tomorrow. Just a couple housekeeping things. So tomorrow I will be going back onto the Suzanne Morphew case. I will put a warning in the description, but this is a warning here, and I will warn people before I start in on this. But the disciplinary papers are going to start covering. You've noticed my okay, I'm bribing the youngest, most feral. If he's good for all this week while he's on probation and can never have his pad back, he gets to have this. I'm sorry, we have gotten to the bribery stage. I'm not a momfluencer. I never promised to have any sort of this parenting thing figured out. Anywho, this is going to be the part of the disciplinary paperwork that details how she so bungled a case where a 10-month-old baby was brutally unalived. To put it as delicately as I can put it, she so bungled this case by her opening her mouth and blabbing. And it will get into a lot of details, I think, because it's fairly thorough. So I do want to warn everyone that tomorrow's session might not be for everyone. I never want you to, put your mental health in any sort of bad way. So I will remind you guys tomorrow. I think it is an important part of the case because of what she did, these charges against the two suspects that they had were dismissed with prejudice. That means they can never be brought again. That means this little boy, anywho, it frosts your flakes, it burns your biscuits, it makes you give up hope for humanity. But we also have stories of whales getting out of the stomach of, or seals getting out of the stomach of whales. So I do want to let you know when we're going to cover something that might be a little bit harder or might affect everyone's mental health, because I know kid cases are hard. But this is, absolutely, I think, the most egregious thing I've ever read. And I've done a lot of stuff on Delphi, and it is just grotesque to me that a child will never get the justice he deserves on this earth because this woman wanted to play Nancy Grace Ursula on local television. But anywho, we will save that for tomorrow. My rage will hold, promise. I think I've decided that the problem is that I stuffed my inner rage right next to my inner child. So if I ever let the two out at the same time, it's going to be such a Cartman. And on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys in the morning. Bye, you guys.